Hey, folks. Welcome into the 49ers Report. I am Cam Rogers. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? We got a lot of news and rumors to break down. Then I'm breaking down the depth chart as well. We have a trade alert that came through today. Eli Harold headed to the Motor City, now a member of the Detroit Lions. So with Harold now gone, that makes Dakota Watson the de facto starting outside linebacker for the 49ers at the Sam position for now. We'll see what happens. But as for San Francisco's compensation, they get a 2020 7th-round conditional pick. So we have to go a couple years from now for actually this compensation to actually check in here. So Harold wasn't necessarily expensive on the roster either. His 2018 cap hit was just around $2.1 million. Played in 16 games last season, starting 11 of them for San Francisco. Had a total 26 tackles and 2 sacks to his credit. The move here by Detroit is, well, of course, they need to improve their pass rush because outside of Ziggy Ansah, they got nothing going on. But isn't that the case with San Francisco, too? They need somebody to show out in terms of the sack department. So should the 49ers have traded Eli Harold? Let me know. Type away. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Maybe you're just indifferent on the matter, but yes, we did have a trade go down today. All right, another news item here. Richard Sherman set to make his preseason debut. In fact, first piece of NFL action on a football field for the first time since November, where, of course, he suffered that ruptured Achilles. The 49ers take on the Indianapolis Colts on Saturday afternoon. And for a guy who's been out of football so long, this game will serve Richard Sherman really well. Regardless of how he actually plays, the fact that he's out there should be enough for 49ers fans. Don't read too much into the tape on Saturday. I don't care if Sherman gets burned 3 times in total. It's super, super important for this guy to get that Robert Saleh defense under his belt in actual game action here, if you will. And I guess to draw a comparison to the opponent on Saturday, I think Colts fans are happy just to see Andrew Luck on the football field too, right? I mean, he was not very good in that Monday Night Football game against the Baltimore Ravens. Great defense and all. And it was just nice to see Luck throwing the football again. Same can be said here about Richard Sherman on Saturday. It'll be nice to see him playing cornerback yet again in the NFL. And then finally, the Niners have reunited with defensive tackle Chris Jones. Now, this news comes in light of Cedric Thornton's retirement. And so when you look at Jones, he played 6 games for San Francisco back in 2016. He was actually on IR in 2017. He was on the practice squad for the Jets a little bit this season, and he's kind of a rotational reserve sort of player, just a depth option there for San Francisco. He is fully healthy, though. I will note that, following hip and groin surgery. All right, let's get into those rumors now here on the program. Is the 49ers run game in trouble? Firmly in the rumor category for now, 2 jet heads, but there is some credence to this, and mostly because of the injury department. We won't see Jerick McKinnon until the regular season, perhaps week 1, maybe later. Same can be said for Matt Breida as well. Joe Williams is dealing with a rib issue, so all of a sudden, if you're the 49ers coaching staff, your hands are tied right now where you're staring at Raheem Mostert and Alfred Morris as your top-line running backs as we stand. So, of course, the 49ers took the proper steps to improve upon their run game. They bring in Weston Richburg. Jonathan Cooper is there as well. Mike McGlinchey at tackle, the number 9 overall selection. And, of course, signing Jerick McKinnon to, shall we say, a controversial contract out there. If you ask the national media, a lot of people thought, wow, the 49ers are really overrating Jerick McKinnon here. I don't think that's the case. I think he'll be just fine for San Francisco. In summary, there's no real need to be worried just yet. Let's see how the rehab goes for Breida and McKinnon, and if they are healthy, then there is no reason to worry. If they are not by the time the regular season comes around, then it could be concern time. All right, next up on the list are the 49ers bringing back Erid Reid. Well, Kyle Shanahan made some buzz about this. I'm only giving it 1 jet head here. Shanahan said, well, he'd be open to signing Reid in a backup role. And we know that Erid Reid doesn't necessarily want that. At this point, Reid probably has to face the reality that he won't be a starting safety this season. He may not even be on a team in 2018. And of course, Erid Reid, one of the first people to kneel alongside Colin Kaepernick during the national anthem, which just opened the floodgates from everybody like media members such as myself and to the President of the United States weighing in on this debate here. And I'm not saying this is right, but he's not exactly an attractive option right now because he's got that ongoing collusion case against the National Football League. If you are suing your employer, why would your employer hire you? Now, maybe Reid does have some credence to this collusion case. I don't know. I'm not here to really offer that opinion. I'm just saying he's not an attractive option for teams out there. And so that leaves me with this. Would you sign a player who kneels during the national anthem? So let's say Erid Reid says to you, yes, I plan on protesting during the anthem this year. What do you say to him? Well, that's a deal breaker, or do you say, you know what, that's okay, you're a good player, I want you on my team. You can protest during the anthem if you please. Hit me up in this reaction poll. Wow face for yes and a laughing face for no. All right, next up on the list here, will Jimmy Garoppolo win MVP this season? No disrespect to Jimmy, but I'm only giving it one jet head right now. Our friends at BetDSI have the latest odds for who will win the NFL MVP in 2018. And look, Jimmy Garoppolo has been getting a lot of love this offseason as a potential top 10 quarterback, and I think by the time the 2018 season is over, Jimmy Garoppolo will be a top 10 quarterback. Is he right now? No, he's on the outside looking in my eyes. In his 5 starts last year, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, throwing for a shade over 1,500 yards, and a quarterback rating of 96.2. So let's take a look at those BetDSI odds here. Tom Brady is the favorite to be the 2018 NFL MVP. There's Aaron Rodgers there at 2. Carson Wentz at 3. He was in the MVP discussion last season. Drew Brees is there at 4. Jimmy Garoppolo at number 5. So you look at Jimmy here, who was formerly a backup to Tom Brady, has 7 total starts in his career, number 5 according to BetDSI. And folks, you can bet on that line and so much more. Go to chatsports.com/bet. It's time to be a player, not a talker. Get paid for being a genius. And if you're watching this show, you're already a genius. So get it done. Chatsports.com/bet. That promo code, you see it on the screen, NFL120, to get that 120% deposit bonus worth up to $600. Get paid, real cash. Chatsports.com/bet. Rumor number 4 here on the list. Will Alfred Morris make the roster? I'll be honest with you guys, I am leaning towards the 49ers actually holding 4 running backs on this roster because I think they might be forced to due to injuries. 2 Jetheads here in the rumor category, could be shifting it up to 3. We shall see. Now, there is increased buzz that Alfred Morris could make this roster due to the Matt Breida and Jerick McKinnon injuries. And the bulk of Morris's productive play in his career, of course, is with Kyle Shanahan back during the Washington Redskins era for Morris and Shanahan, respectively. Now, with that said, if Alfred Morris really is that impressive, you got to wonder if Morris could be the RB2 for the 49ers this season. And Breida gets bumped back to number 3. Mostert is still your 4th/3rd guy, depending on how many running backs the 49ers keep. Here's a look at the depth chart. Obviously, McKinnon is your top guy. Apologies that he's still in that Vikings jersey. I'm sure they'll get it changed on NFL.com soon. Breida there at 2. Then you got Mostert at 3. Joe Williams, Morris battling it out, but Joe Williams, as I mentioned, dealing with a little bit of a rib issue as we stand. Hey, folks. Do you like my swag right now? Because I'm sporting some beautiful mizzen and mane, and you can get a shirt for yourself as well. Comfortable.af is the website to get it done. No ironing needed. That is my favorite thing about this shirt. I am way too lazy with the ironing. Mizzen and mane saves me some time. All right, let's go to number 5 here on the list. Will the 49ers win the NFC West in 2018? firmly in the rumor category, all right? 2 jet heads on this one. Our friends at BetDSI have the latest odds here in terms of who will capture the NFC West crown. And I think San Francisco is exactly where it should be, at number 2 in terms of the odds. I mean, yes, the Rams stole the offseason with the amount of additions that they had, and Ndamukong Suh, and Brandon Cooks, and Aqib Talib, and Marcus Peters. Here's my mentality. Let the Rams steal all the headlines, right? That feeds into the underdog mentality for San Francisco. Here are the odds. Minus 235 there for the Rams. 325 positive for the 49ers. Seahawks at plus 500. Cardinals don't even bother. Use that promo code NFL120, folks, by the way, to get that done on BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. The best promo code ever, by the way, up to $600 worth of free money. You better throw some money down on the 49ers now, folks, because if, say, Jimmy Garoppolo balls out on Saturday night, those odds could change. So bet now, chatsports.com/bet. All right, let's go to number 6 here. Let's take a look at Solomon Thomas. Is he crucial to the pass rush for San Francisco this year? Wholeheartedly, yes. 4 jet heads on this one. One of the more intriguing storylines for San Francisco, and maybe it's more sad at this point, we are still searching for who is going to be the premier nickel edge rusher for the 49ers. Can Solomon Thomas be that guy? Let me say this. Let's be patient with him. He's only entering his 2nd season. And yes, he can be that second-year breakout for the 49ers. I think Jeremiah Atachu could actually steal some headlines this season as well. In terms of Thomas's stats back in 2017, obviously not that great. Pro Football Focus with a poor grade of 55, and Thomas ranked over 100 among all edge rushers in the NFL last season. By the way, a little reshuffled role this year for Thomas. Going to play a little more Leo this year, which is obviously playing into his hand as a pass rusher. He has been very vocal that he wants to improve upon his pass rushing ability as well. He's going to have to step up. It can't just be on DeForest Buckner. And by the way, Eric Armstead, I'm looking at you. You got to give the 49ers some sacks this year and some healthy repetitions during the regular season.